I talk often on this show about the progress that we're making on dealing with climate change. In various parts of the world, little changes being made. We're trying to persuade people that this is a threat worth facing. Now the Green New Deal is this big part of the political conversation. But when I talk about the progress we need to make, it's not just like, hey, the oil companies, it's also us. We are stupid primates. That's all that we are. And it's very difficult for us to get us to accept what is abundantly true. So I saw a tweet. It was from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, and they tweeted out just some statistics. It was just in January 2019 was the third warmest January on record for the globe. And they showed you a little map showing where temperatures were average, where they were higher than normal, where they were lower than normal across the world in January. And you take a look at that and you think, well, what's so bad about that? Well, that's not bad, but Twitter added this feature where people can respond, and it's generally been considered to have been a bad decision all around, but it's still there. So I looked at some of the responses, and one guy said, so according to the map, if I take the average of all documented temperatures, then global temperature is average. I thought global warming meant the entire world's average temperature rises. A lot of hype over something that isn't fully understood. Well, he is right at the end. Something's not understood. It's not what you think it is. So he thinks if temperatures anywhere go down, then on average, it's all average, it doesn't matter. That's not true.
So this is why wording had to change for people who. So when people don't want to pay attention, can we put up the tweet again from the organization about the warmest thing?
So map.
Yeah. So there's certain terms that, like, remember they said, oh, you guys had to switch it from global warming to climate change because you knew that it's because you had to make sure people understood. I guess you have to change words so people can listen. So it says 2019 is the third warmest January on record for the globe. So people see the word warmest and they think it means it has to be summertime. First of all, in their neck of Minnesota.
Yeah, it has to be warmer than it ever is, ever, anywhere.
And so when they think warmest, so if the normal average was 20 degrees, but then it's up to 25, guess what? 25 is warmer than 20. Doesn't mean that it's warm out.
Yeah, I checked his math. He's not wrong.
It's crazy. And also, if you live in Minnesota and it says for the globe, Minnesota is not the globe. So where you're standing, because you're shoveling snow out of your driveway, does not mean that it's not warm in other parts of the world, or warmer than it usually is in other parts of the world. Doesn't mean your little 5-second window in this 5-second of January is indicative of the entire world, an entire history of the world.
Yeah, that's the point we're gonna return to in a second. I wanna read more of these tweets.
This is tiring.
So another tweet said, cold water from ice melt will cool the oceans, and cooler seasons in the temperate regions are part of the cycle. The earth is breathing heavy in times of stress, just like humans. No, the earth is not on the verge of orgasm, it's heating up on average. Your metaphors are not applicable to this situation. But another person said, I live in North Dakota and would have never guessed that. That's why you're not in charge of the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Scientists are, and they're not just chilling in North Dakota, they're going all over the place. If you believe that you can disprove climate change by being in a cold spot, don't make me broadcast from a hot tub. I'll prove climate change is indisputable.
It's weird, those astronauts keep talking about space exploration and planets, stars, universe. I've never been there.
I've never been there. Is France real? I've never seen it. Okay, next, here's a different take. So these people are like, I can disprove it. Not everybody comes at it from that point of view. So another person says, I really don't care. Humans will adapt and survive. It's truly a hoax. So he's just like,
okay.
So, I mean, oceans, what? Does a house need to be dry? Can it be underwater? We'll figure it out. I don't mind being a dolphin. Another person says, you have to question the data. There aren't enough weather stations to make this claim, and the satellites are more of an estimate than an actual reading. There's no thermometers on satellites that can read ground temperature. Well, that's true. There's not thermometers on satellites because that's not how thermometers work. Thankfully, though, that's not how satellites measure the temperature.
It's like the Earth doesn't even have a tongue you can stick the thermometer under to check the temperature. Maybe you can stick it in the Earth's anus and then find out the temperature that way.
It refuses to bend over, so how can we really know? Yes, to some extent, some of these are. They have got so many different ways in so many different parts of the world. The important thing is that those measurements are consistent year to year and place to place. And so they are able to be compared between them. Perhaps the lowest effort tweet though that frustrated me was this. Oh, okay. Hey, snow, am I right? What I want to know, these people in particular, why are they following the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration? I'm led to believe that they're just responding to everything that they tweet that they don't
they're
like.
probably not following it. They've never heard of the organization. So what it is that, maybe there's a story that comes out. They read a story online and said, this is a report, and they went and checked it out and said, I'm gonna respond to these crazed scientists getting paid tons of money. By the way, I said it before. If you want to read the whole study, which I wouldn't be able to understand, read it, study it, go through every page of it, and see if you can figure out what it all means. Since you really want the information, am I right?
Yeah.
You want the information. You don't want to trust them. Go and review it. Write your own.
Go to the headquarters of NOAA. I'm sure they're lonely and would love to give you a tour. Like they will, go to a university, talk to climate scientists doing academic research. Like they would love to talk to you in depth about exactly how they do the measurements, why they know that things are moving in the direction that they are. The thing about this that's so frustrating is not the ignorance, it's the laziness, because these people are saying, based on their own unwillingness to learn about exactly how this works, that we shouldn't do anything. So it's not just laziness, as bad as laziness can be on a personal level. This is laziness on a global level. It is, I am willing to bet that our civilization will not end, and I don't care to do the research to find out whether that's true or not. That's a big bet. Do your research on that.
It's weird. I mean, there won't be. They don't want to believe those scientists making mad money off of research, but you are willing to believe that caravans continue to come into our southern border that you still haven't seen.
Yeah,
you're willing to believe that every time.
I keep hearing about caravans, but I'm looking around. I don't see any caravans. Oh, okay. That's not how we know that the caravans are BS. I just want to make that really clear. So I've been thinking a lot over the years about how exactly to persuade people on climate change. I will acknowledge this segment's not the one that'll do it, but I do aim to do that. And so if you have any suggestions, feel free to tweet them at The Damage Report, and I will take a look. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.